And there's no, from my understanding, I don't think we have anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had anything like that, where it's like not just a platform to talk about dance and to give information about dance, but also live updates about what our scene is doing abroad.
Yeah.
Which I think goes really, like, coincides really well with this battle. Just, and we'll talk about it. We'll get into why I want to call it London Battle and why it's so important that we start raising awareness about our space. But I think you're one of the main people that champion London UK pride in what our scene has. And really making sure that the scene in general stays up to date with everything that's happening.
Yeah, trying to.
Not try, you're doing it, bro. You're doing it, and it's sick.
Oh,
so yeah, anyway, I don't know if we've actually
we
kind of started.
Look, you're complimenting me a lot. I'm tempted to leave that in. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the capsule. We are here for a special episode. They're all special. Everyone that's been on, you're all special. But this is another special episode with another special guest. We are here at the Content is Queen podcast space in Somerset House with the one and the only debut on the capsule, Jade Hackett.
Are you gonna add like a?
We have to add our own. Fundraise for the capsule so that we can add sounds.
Allow we did
we
there.
can have a
Allow
live
we did
studio
there.
audience. So yeah, for those at home, if you don't know who Jade Hackett is, either you're too young.
Hey, true.
Or you might not be about as much as you think you are. Because Jade Hackett is someone that's been around the scene definitely since I started, way before that. One of those people that we say fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of different stuff. Obviously working across dance, choreographing, but also acting. Yeah. Singing. Do you sing?
I dabble.
Musical theatre.
I do musical theatre, yeah. Both sides of the canvas, like on stage and choreograph for those spaces. So yeah,
just a ton of stuff. And one of the people that is like I don't know how to phrase this, but like I think you're like a person that makes stuff happen. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
You're like there's certain people that are like, I think do stuff because they get hired a lot or they're in demand. And then there's other people that maybe talk about things being different or whatever. But I feel like with you kind of are just one of those people that like, you're like, oh, this should happen. I'm going to do it. Yeah. Or this should happen and I'm going to do it. Or like, I'm going to, there should be, I don't know, even with like some of the young like freestyle, obviously Evian is a whole different topic. But like with that generation, I feel like you help them a lot and kind of put them on the right track and stuff, which is nice. Yeah, I think you deserve some props for that as well.
Thank you, man.
But yeah, we are mainly here to talk about your event that you've got coming up. So, for those that don't know, the London Battle is coming up when this comes out, this Saturday.
Yes.
Can you tell me, for those that don't know, what is the London Battle?
So, the London Battle is basically going to be an open outdoor festival that will be happening here at Somerset House. It's kind of going to be a day of workshops and performances and parties, graph, art workshops as well. But the main event is the London Battle, which sees 4 captains that are representing each corner of our city, our beautiful city. And they each get to pick 2 other teammates to be and represent on their team as well. And they battle it out for which ends will take the title. And I hope this is the first of many. And yeah, that's essentially London. But I just want it to be a fun day for everybody. One of the main important things for me was that it was free. So in regards to accessibility, for anyone of any class, creed, whatever it may be, has access to the space. And And yeah, I just want it to just be a fun day. Hopefully, seeing out the end of our non-existent summer. that we had for
our
2
hypothetical
weeks.
summer. That sounds amazing. So you've got the north, south, east, west.
Yeah.
First of all, are you a bit biased?
Okay, so because a lot of people have asked me this. So
have you stacked the
I'm
teams?
always at heart, because I'm born and raised East.
Yeah.
I'm always at heart going to be East. But in creating this event and seeing the different teams that have been formed,
You're like, oh, my loyalty is being tested.
You know what it is? I just want to watch can you swear?
I mean, it's up. Well, I don't know for someone else.
Flipping. I really
want. The capsule, yes.
I want to watch a great show. I think essentially that's what it is that I
think at heart that's what we all want from battles. Like as much as it might be our friends 100%. Or even us in the event, or we want to win the money or something. It's like I'd rather, even if my friend won a battle, but it was really boring, I'd rather he lost. And it be a fight. Yeah, and it's like you made a show, like
100%. And I feel like that's obviously because of my brother, I keep a keen eye to the battle community.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes what gets lost is the showmanship.
Yep.
And the performance of battles, and it becomes. It needs to have technique. It needs to have music. It needs to have all of the things that we know make up what a battle is.
Yeah.
But the ones that are the most memorable to this day that have happened maybe 10 years ago, the ones that really stick in people's head are the ones where it was a show.
100%.
So la 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 la. As soon as I say that, you know where that's from.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We all know, and you can see the moment, tap on the back, la la la. You can see it. It's showmanship. It's about the energy that is created in a space.
Yeah. 100%.
And I miss that, especially from, if I'm honest, from London battle spaces. Yeah. I miss that, because that's what I grew up on. GWI, for those that do remember.
Well, yeah.
They were team battles, essentially, not necessarily in the battle format.
No,
it was more choreography, but it was, on the day, it felt like we were battling each other.
Yeah.
And it was the creme de la creme. It was everyone going head to head. And it was once a year, and we all looked forward to that whole year, to that one day.
Yeah.
And imagine waiting a year for an event.
Yeah.
Because you know it's going to be that. That's what I want. I miss that.
Yeah, I hear that. And I think even like when the kind of top style battles started, there was still like Style Fest. There was like maybe 2-3 a year. Like D-Lo ran kind of more consistent battles.
Yeah.
But in terms of like those big event ones, it was like maybe 2-3 a year.
Yeah.
Which is like, for like, if you're a popper, it's like you got like 2 or 3
real chances to like.
Yeah. And it does really bring that energy. And it's kind of like, I think you also accept that not everyone can win. So you're like, well, at least let me like be remembered.
100.
You know what I mean? For the
100.
performance you put. And I always say this, that it's like it's better to, in a pragmatic sense, it's better to put on a good show, because it's like, if people remember you from about it kind of doesn't matter if you won or lost. You'll get hired, you'll get like, there's so many things. And I'd rather, if I'm going to organize an event, I don't care about hiring someone who's got a list of wins. I've got who's going to make my event sick. Yeah, that's what you
100%.
want. Yeah.
And a massive part of what it is that they know how to like absorb the energy of the space and push it out, like radiate past the arena. It fills the room, and you need that energy in a space.
Yeah.
And once you've kind of got that, you always have a memorable. I think it's part of the reason why when you look at the big ones, Just the Boo, it's in an arena space. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's like an event.
It feels like an event we're going to, rather than just, I guess, people in a cypher circle. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I miss it. Like, I grew up on Plan B. I grew up on Jump Off. These were
but I think the difference with these ones is like, there was, especially maybe because I think there's like a whole load of contributing factors, but I think because the early battle scene was, and even still now, but the early battle scene was all choreo dancers moving into battle, right?
Yeah.
And I think growing up like yourself, like you're doing choreo and being a performer, even in a battle, you're aware that you're performing still, right? And I think that energy is very different from a born and bred competitor who's just there to get wins and get points. Like even when I used to like, say you battle in the semis or in the finals, you meet like your friend who's in your crew or whatever, and it's like, all right, look, either way, one of us is going to the finals, so I'm good.
100%.
But we used to have this like say in between us, it's like, all right, let's just put on a good show. So it's like we're both going to battle, and it's like, let's not phone this in because we're friends and either of us are going to win, so let's just have like do whatever. Let's like entertain the audience so that people go, oh, both of them are dope, whoever won. And I think, you know, coming from a choreo or a performance background, you kind of understand that, right, I'm competing, but there's a whole bunch of people 100%. That paid to be here. So let's put on a show for them, which is like, it doesn't always happen these days, I think.
For me, it doesn't. And then maybe some people might have a disagreement of that. But for me, I feel like if we're going to go to a battle that feels like that energy, we always have to go outside of our walls to get that. We have to go to France or Holland, or do you get what I mean? We have to go outside. And I'm just like, nah, we've got some sick dancers here, incredible dancers. And I also think the saying, iron sharpens iron. When I look at, like, for example, the French, there's so many incredible dancers there. And a lot of it is because they've got these arena battles in their own home turf where they're training each other and battling at that top performative level with each other. So by the time they then go international, they're used to that level. It's like it's a standard. So they don't know how to do any less than that. Do you see what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what, for our dancers to push on an international level as well. I mean, for me, the popping community was the most strongest for a long time here. And I think that's a lot of it because they sharpened iron with each other on our own home turfs. So then by the time they then went out, they were killing the game. And
I think also you had, like, let's say the top generation in the UK was like at that time, I guess, is like kind of like Brooke, Marvel, Breaks, like these type of people. And if you're under them, you're used to, at some point in the competition, if you get far enough, you're going to battle one of those guys, 100%. Right? So let's say you're like whoever's just under that generation, you're used to getting your head kicked in by like Marvel, Breaks and Brooke every time. So then, and the difference is those guys were internationally high level competitors. So then when you go and travel, you're not like surprised by the level, because you're like, well, I'm battling this guy, but he's on the same level as Brooke.
This. So and I've battled, but and it's also about taking out that fear thing, being able to maintain composure then when you go abroad.
Exactly.
I mean, I've watched, I use Evian as my example because obviously he's my brother, but I've watched Evian go through all of those transitions.
Oh, really?
You know, especially starting off as a choreo dancer before. Most people don't actually know that about him.
Yeah.
But his path into where he is now actually comes from choreography.
I think I did something with him.
Yeah, most
ages
probably.
ago for Bird. I think we did something, some VR thing.
That's it.
Together.
That's it. So, but you know, he's danced under me, danced under Boy Blue. He's danced his foundation. He's got his foundations of performative energy from these spaces. So he's able to carry that over to where he is now, which I think has helped him on
for
those
sure. I think
big
that's one of the
stages.
strongest, or one of the benefits of the UK scene.
Yeah,
is like in Europe they don't have such a strong choreo performance scene or opportunities even. Like we have a whole industry that's maybe like second to the States in terms of entertainment and all that. So you can work as a performing dancer as well as
a battle, which is why I
without leaving the country.
100%. Which is why I think one of the things that when we had KOD, for example, and a lot of countries might have counted us out, we excelled in that space because choreo
Routines are always going to be fire.
We're just gonna like. What do you mean?
And no one, there's like no UK team that should be messing up routines.
Yeah,
it's like there's no like for us. It's also battle routines are like very simple compared to if you go like proper studio.
100%.
So it's like
100%.
doing like the other people are like, right, what was 5, 6, 7, 8? You know, like the other teams. It's like
and
UK,
it stays
like,
very 5, 6, 7, 8. Whereas because we kind of have the thematic, you know, the breaking convention also has kind of shaped how we present choreography, and anyway, I mean this is a topic we can talk about, is the
point. But so I think I love that idea, and I think there's so many more factors to making a big event battle than just like kind of putting it on and hoping for the best. Like even the venue here, like just walking in, because it's going to be in that courtyard. Right? I was walking in and I said to him, I was like, is this where it's going to be? It's like, that's crazy. Like the setting and and
it's supposed to be here.
Yeah.
The minute you walk through the door, you see all these sculptures of like, I don't know if it is, let me not say, profess to say I'm a historian, but you see all these like Zeus-like sculptures and Sophocles and all of these like proper, epic. Athenian epic things. And this is the home of Sparta blood. Do you get what I mean? Like, this is the perfect battleground. And I also think just the history of Somerset House even is the very essence of battle energy. Like, it's made for the monarch. And the monarchy, that's essentially what it was. It was a small palace, right? Okay. So it was never made for the home of hip hop. In its original birth of why this building exists, we shouldn't be here. So the rebelness in me, I'm like, if I could go back, here, here's where it's gonna go.
But
you see what I'm saying?
That's such a like, you know, without getting too like hip hop historian on about it, but like that's kind of the intrinsic nature of hip hop culture is like taking spaces and flipping them, like even just like trading spaces that's like under a bridge or a shopping center. It's like it's not supposed to be that, but that's how we make it.
We've made it.
So this is kind of, it's nice when that it's not for the same reasons, but it's nice when that mentality can carry you into something positive. Because, you know, let's say before it was like, all right, well, I wasn't there, but like a lot of the people that started the culture were like, all right, we can't afford to go and train in the nice studio. We can't afford to do this. We'll get a cardboard box, go outside. We'll go under the bridge. We'll go in the train station. But now it's like, all right, that mentality isn't because we can't afford it anymore, but it's the mentality of like, we go to places where we're not supposed to, in air quotes, be, and we're going to flip that and make it something beautiful. And then when they see it, they're going to go, wow, this is amazing, you know?
It's the public enemy. It's the fight the power. It's the whole thing that kind of just says that hip-hop deserves to be in these spaces, 1000%. And I hope that when people come on Saturday, that you walk in and you just feel like, oh my days, this is about to be some grand stuff that I'm about to see. Do you know what I mean? I want you to feel excited.
So
and I really hope, look, the way how I've always thought is I don't think about just the now. I always think about 5-10 years of a plan. If I ever do something, I'm like, if this is the event or this is the thing that I'm doing, and how can that go? Is there longevity in it?
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely possible. I feel like maybe I move into executive producer level, but somebody else, you could curate.
Right, and like you could have different people to...
You can curate
Right.
Next year, Brooke can curate it. What does he think should be London about? Do you see what I'm saying?
Sick.
So then the idea keeps evolving and changing. And then long after I'm gone out of it, there's something I feel like I've
contributed
to our community.
I think that's something that is like, it doesn't really happen as much anymore, that we're like talking about where people live and stuff like that, and like because there was, I think it's maybe it's like an older generation thing of having a pride, like I'm from South, I'm from East.
1000%.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't hear people like as much sticking to those things.
It's not,
which is good in a way.
It is, but I also think
bit of healthy competition.
It is.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, man. And it's the thing that I was saying before, like iron sharpening iron. I always just remember feeling the healthy competition thing, and that pushed everybody to want to be better, to want to, 364 days out of the year, we were great with each other. But that one day, that one day.
And that's the way it should be, man. It's like, I think with competition, it's like, it's almost disrespectful to be too nice to me. It's like, if I battle someone who I think, like, or who knows that they're probably going to beat me, if they go easy on me because they can, I am so disrespected. I'm like, I want your best rounds.
100%. And I feel like sometimes as well, when you think about the essence of battles, like, especially like when it comes to hip hop or anything that pertains to that energy, it's like we have to tread careful. We can't go too hard, and do you get what I mean? But then when you think about the Battle of Hastings, you know what I mean? When you think like these men immortalize that. It's in the museum. You go there and there is grand oil paintings of these men like riding on horses. You get what I'm saying? It's a battle energy in that instance is associated with greatness.
It's almost noble.
Excellent. It's a noble to have had that fire in your belly and chest to want to win. But we put it here and it's like, and I'm like, what is that? And
I mean, even to be honest, like, if we look at like sports and stuff, right? It's like I always had this transition when I came from, because I played basketball growing up like my whole life. Yeah. Because my dad's from the States, so I didn't so much grow up with football. I grew up like I was in basketball teams since I was like 10 or something. But for me, like coming to the battle scene, people were really like soft-footed around like battling and competing because they were like, almost like, I don't want to be disrespectful, or I don't want to, it's a bad energy and this and that, which is quite an artsy kind of vibe, which is fine. And there's half of the scene that, or a portion of the scene that battle because they're artists, not competitors. They just want to exchange and feel good energy, which is fine if that's
fine
you.
As well,
But for me, it's like, I played basketball with people, like whether it was like in the park or in a team, and we would like get angry at each other, shout at each other, like shove each other. And basketball is a lot more physical than dance is in terms of contact, right? You don't touch anyone in dance. But
other than crump.
True. But it's like we would get hyped, we would like barge each other, we would get like physical, get in each other's faces, and then as soon as we're done, we shake hands, like, all right, let's go get coffee, like, or whatever.
Facts.
And it was an understanding that that's what competing is about. And I think you can have that same energy in battles, without 100%. Going disrespectful and saying horrible things. That's a line. But in terms of like, all right, me and you battle, it's like, the fun is I want you to go for me. Like, come on, let's go,
And then you push me and I push you. And I also think, like, staying on the idea of sports and the battle mentality, especially when you see women and they have a battle energy in them, like a Serena or something, and she's flipped out and she's in the ring and she's going for it. It's like seen as this really it's aggressive nature, and it's like, no, women can also have a battle mentality as well.
Hell yeah!
And I'm really excited for the women that are in this battle as well to just let loose. Do you know what I mean? And for it to not be about anything gender biased or whatever. These are all brilliant performers and dancers and battlers, and they're gonna give the best.
And to be honest, tell me your opinion on this. This is maybe an interesting. We won't go too much of a tangent, but I was talking various conversations about this recently, about like men battling women, right, and the energy of like this competitor battle thing. My opinion is it's disrespectful to not give your full energy to battle a woman.
If you're a man
and I'm like, oh, Jade's a woman, let me just be nice and shake her hand and say, it's like, no, like, if I respect Jade and I think, yo, she's going to come with some
100%.
fire, I'm going as hard as I can.
100%.
It's like, imagine me battling Paris and being nice to her because, poor Paris, she's a woman.
Listen,
it's like,
anyone that misunderstands Paris, more for you.
And also, like, Paris is, like, using Paris as an example, she's very sweet and soft-spoken and chilled.
But in the
she'll
ring?
tear my head off. Like,
in the ring?
And she's so experienced and done so many battles. Like, she's not scared by someone coming at her.
At all.
Neither, like, a lot of the women, even, this, I'm trying to think of, like, the softest, like, even a Tally, right?
Yeah.
A very, like, soft, and it's like, there's not really, like, if she's chosen to step on a stage, it's not her first time on stage. She's not worried about that. And I don't know, I think it's like, with the women, it's like, don't underestimate them because they will tear your head off given a chance. And second of all, if you go easy on them, even in battle energy, or, give them energy that you wouldn't give to a guy, I find that almost more disrespectful.
1000%. It's kind of, just don't underestimate me, bruv.
Yeah.
Like, that's madness.
Yeah.
Like,
or think, oh, you can't handle
yeah,
being battled
the fire.
properly.
Yeah. And I feel like there's fire also in feminine energy.
Hell yeah.
Like, so, you know, even if you you spoke about a dancer the other day. Oh my God, her name's skipped my head. You did a whole synopsis about her, and she did a whacking battle, and she had the
Nene.
skirt. Yes,
Nene's fire.
Now that round, and I especially after you said it, I went and watched that.
Oh,
right?
sick.
So that round is everything to me. Like, it's everything. It's the fire that we're looking for, but she's harnessing feminine energy. Do you
Right.
see what I'm saying? So just for a female to be powerful, she doesn't have to harness masculine energy. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100. And I've seen that even with like various battles where it's like the guy is being very like in your face and that, and the woman doesn't need to match that energy in the same way in order to
outdo that person.
Exactly.
And that's where it's strategic and planned, and actually that's clever. It's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've almost seen it where it's like they've made the guy look like a little boy, where they'd be like, all right, relax. Like, yeah. Mama, let me show you some mature. Exactly. And it's that energy of like, there's different ways to create that, like, if we're saying power dynamic in the sense of a battle, like if you're trying to come up and be like, oh yeah, I'm big and strong and I'm in your face, there's also a way for the woman to be like,
to react to that.
Like
100%.
Yeah, you know, and like kind of balance it out.
And I feel like this is going to be hopefully a battle that will help dismantle maybe some people's perception of what that is.
Have you memorized the lineup? I can pull it up if not.
Please do.
Okay, just so we don't miss anyone.
I'm also doing all.
Yes. So let's have a look at who we've got. And what would be good actually is if you could let me know why you chose the people.
So the first thing that will always be is the captains. That will always be in the curator's decision. Okay. The rest of the team,
captains and
the captains will always be the curator's decision, but the teams are the captain's decision.
Got you.
Does that make sense?
We've got for captains. So for North, we've got that boy Troy from In the House. Marvel. South London. I grew up, for disclaimer before anyone comments, I grew up in Watford, but I moved to London when I was 18, and that was quite a while ago now.
And
so
it was the South.
I'm a Londoner. And Watford has a metro as an underground station, so technically.
Wait. What does Watford postcode start with?
Listen, Jade, we've got to stay on topic, all right?
If it ain't got an E, an N, an S, or a W.
You know what really annoys me? There was one time where like I used to get ridden about not being from London, even though I'm in London, I'm just on the edge.
You're just hanging on. Like...
I went to a battle once, and it was I feel like it was Sean. Apologies if it's not you, Sean. But they did a battle where it was like, oh, if you're from outside of London, you can get like free entry or something. Right. And I went, and they were like, no, you're not from outside. So I'm like, oh, now I'm not from. I'm not
so
from outside.
Sorry. I feel like this is a repressed trauma.
Like London, there's so much London trauma. All right, so we've got Troy for North, Marvel for South, J-Funk for East, and then Reckless Lee for West.
Yes.
So let's go through why you chose those four first of all, and who, like what you like about them, and then we'll go through who they chose. Right. So let's start with Troy from North.
So, I mean, Troy, all of the captains, I think, don't really need explanation about.
Can't have been a hard decision.
Like, it's just the creme de la creme. I think what's more important for me is, or where the jigsaw Rubik's Cube came in, is that each area represented not just a different corner of the city, but they also represented a different style and were proficient in a specific style. Right. Even though they might be able to do other things, they're proficient in this thing. Do you get what I mean?
That's
so that was really hard, because once you have found this person, so say I find a breaker, which was West, say for example Lee, that cancels out now all the breakers from South, East, North. Do you see what I'm saying?
Got ya.
So now I'm left, what other
Options,
genres
right.
am I left
Yeah,
with?
right.
And that it's more than why did I pick these people? Because the people are self-explanatory.
Sure.
I personally, if you're a part of the battle community, you shouldn't need any explanation
Yeah.
about any of those four.
I don't think any of those are debatable, really.
100%. But it was like, whew, at home for a little while. So if you ever become a curator of London Battle, that's probably going to be one of the hardest things you'll do. Having to really make sure that each area sits in a different tone, because you want it to be an all-style battle, essentially.
Did you say the same when the captains had to choose theirs, that you had to like split up the styles, or they could just do what they want?
No.
Okay, cool.
If they wanted to, if Marvel, for example, wanted to pick all other poppers,
He could have. Okay, cool.
One of the things that I did stipulate is that it's not necessary for the other dancers to have to be from that area, because the captain is from that area,
Right.
and the lead decisions, the choreography, all of that is from that person's mind. Does that make sense? So like, for example,
So we might have some traitors, is what we're
we
saying.
might have some traitors, we might not, let's see, but essentially from what I can see, most of the dancers are all they've chosen to pretty much stay in their own postcodes. So, which is, I mean, that's the beauty. I said, these are the parameters that you have.
Yeah.
Let's see what you do with it. And it gives each captain the autonomy
To do their own thing.
I think.
So just to go through who they've chosen. So for North, we've got Troy, and he chose Rory Clark and big girl Stephanie. That's already trouble.
It's a madness, that team.
That's wild already. I mean, all of them
of the teams are crazy.
So if you don't know, well, Troy from In the House dancer, been around for ages.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you don't know him already, go and check him out.
Yeah.
Rory Clark is a young dancer. We actually had him on the pod when he was like 60, back in the pandemic, I think, or just after. Mm-hmm. He's come along.
Insane.
Leaps and bounds.
And I love that he's young gen.
Yeah.
That we're going to have a young gen energy in the space as
definitely. Well. There's a couple from young. But I mean, Rory is like hip hop, lock-in, house. He just did some work with Far From the Norm.
Yeah.
So he's like really stepping up his game in the sense of Rory kind of gives me similar energy to Lauren Scott. Rory Clark, Lauren Scott.
Yeah.
In the sense of just those young gen, but I'm like, you have the maturity of a older. Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
But then they also have, essentially, it is still a team battle.
Yeah.
So I think choreography, or the ability to deliver choreography at a high level, is also a skill set that you need.
Exactly.
So,
and that's like Rory's chilling as well.
He's killer.
Then you've got Stephanie, who is, I'm going to say, pretty close to being in the Olympics. I think it depends where she's at, because the World Breaking Champions happened. I don't know exactly where she placed, but I don't think it was top 3. But
it's the fact that she can get to that level.
But there's another qualifying thing called the OQS. We did a podcast on it, so check that out. But Stephanie is a Nike-sponsored B-girl who, is going to be, if she's not in the Olympics, she's going to be damn close to having an Olympic spot. One of the better B-girls in the world, I'd say.
100.
So she's fire. Also done a lot of crew battles. So she's got choreo skills and she knows how to do that. And she can battle.
So now when you think about just the North team,
that's wild.
Aside from choreo, what other styles that they all encompass? House, lock-in,
popping,
breaking.
Breaking, hip hop. Yeah.
It's like,
and I think it's also like, it doesn't even have to be, because with an all-stars battle, you don't have necessarily like, okay, now is the time for everyone has to only do hip hop, it's more music. So the way we used to break it down doing all-stars like crew battles is like, okay, what styles of music can you fit your style to? So if you can do locking, you can dance to like funk, like electro. You can probably do locking to hip hop. So it's like, you're like, all right, so Rory's got that covered.
Locking on grime is the baddest.
Yeah, exactly.
Locking on grime is fire. Like,
I think the hardest one I would say is house, like fitting house to different styles.
Of course.
But like,
because you're listening
popping,
for
breaking.
the hi-hat a lot of the time.
Exactly, yeah. So then,
but you got footwork.
Yeah,
out
so
of
you
house. So you can mix and match and make it mix, you know. But yeah, North team
is wild.
Is great.
So then Team South, we have Marvel, one of the now older generation poppers. Super dope. Was just at Battle Bad, so check that out. I think the video's out already. B-Girl Roxy needs no introduction.
We both just went. Bleh.
She's been around since she was like one of my first friends in the dance scene. And then Sev Raven, aka Sheldon, who I saw last night, friend of the capsule and a dope hip hop dancer. Those three are going to be fire. Also,
I'm really excited to see those three. Actually, I think that's a really interesting move that Marvel's made there, and I'm interested to see what he does with those players.
Yeah.
And how he utilizes their skill sets to create material.
Because also, again, like talking crew battles and stuff, like all three of them are very experienced with crew battles, choreo, working in a team, performing. So already that's a good show.
Not me wiping my glasses.
Then we have East London, who are always going to be a problem. Jordan J. Funk Franklin. Dance Your Style 2021 winner, I want to say. Just overall dope guy. Hip hop, crump, house, Afro, just troublesome. If you've seen Dance Your Style videos, just troublesome. Evian Hackett, never heard of him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who that guy is.
And just so we're clear, that's why I did not pick Evian as a captain.
Okay, cool. And then Jordan
so I
was
didn't
like,
want no one to be
well,
like, why? Yeah, I didn't. I said I'm not putting Evian in. If someone
fair.
Picks Evian,
that's up
different.
To you.
But it's not from me, you know.
Fair. Evian just won Jack of all trades. Just went to Battle Bad, where he did really well.
Yeah.
And he's going. Didn't he just win something else as well? Around the same time as Joe? No, maybe not. Oh, he did that battle in... Where was that battle?
Poland?
Trippy? Yeah, the Trippy one. Yeah. So I feel like I'm speculating a bit about kind of making a comeback because he's had a bit of a hiatus.
He did.
And now he's kind of like... It feels like he's like, all right, coming back and doing things more consistently. So that'll be dope to see. And this will
be his first UK battle in a long time.
I noticed, yeah.
He hasn't battled in the UK
for
a while.
Dope because for people that might want to come to this... Like Evian's like he's like in the top rankings of like world hip hop dancers. So you'll be able to see him. He just he's not here a lot or he's not battling here a lot. So it's a good chance to see some high level stuff. So that would be great. And then Shush, Toby. Shush. I haven't seen him so much. Well, I don't follow the crump scene as tightly as I could, but Toby is one of those crumpers, kind of like he was like Jordan maybe before Jordan in the sense that he was the crumper for All Stars battles.
That is an incredible thing that you just said. That makes so much sense.
Like the position in the scene that Jordan has, like he's a crumper, but he's the crumper that we all know and love because he's in the All Stars battles and does. That was Toby at one point. There was like if Toby was in an All Stars battle, you're like, oh, for
crazy,
sake. Yeah,
crazy. He's just a beast. His name, Shh.
Yeah.
How you gonna tell man shush? And you tell me to be quiet.
That's a real skill set, which obviously we saw with Jordan at Dance Your Style, but is the ability to tailor your
style
to any song, and that's what Toby does so well. Like put on an Afro song, a chill song, he's gonna make it work, and you're 100%. Gonna love it.
But then obviously he's also choreo.
Yeah. Oh, again, yeah. All three of them are like killers for the stuff that they're going to be able to make.
Yeah.
And then West, we have Recklessly, who is old Soul Mavericks breaker. He now actually, interesting fact, trains a lot of the B-girls, which I love. He's actually like really, I don't know if that crew is supposed to be only B-girls, but I know that he trains a lot of B-girls, which is great because we need more of them in the scene.
Yeah.
So if you're a girl that wants to get into breaking, go check out Recklessly and
come.
Send him
come
and check him out, see his breaking,
and meet him,
and then he's doing something right because those girls are getting good.
Yeah.
And then Elise, who has shot up from like in the last maybe 2-3 years, as like, and she's got She's got like a young Jade Hackett energy, I would say. Like
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I feel like Elisa's been like, she's one of those people that I haven't seen her like wait for any opportunity. Like she's making her own opportunity. She's like, I'm gonna put on a battle. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a choreo video. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? And it's like she's just taking the initiative, which I think is something that will that mentality will help you so much in the long run. Of like, I'm not waiting for anyone to tell me I'm good enough. I'm doing this myself. So that is, we love that. And Shahi, which is a sick choice because he doesn't, I don't think as many people know him here, especially in the all styles like community, if I can say that. Like breakers know him, but he is fire and his power is
ridiculous. Like power,
dope.
His power moves up.
And I love his style. I think he's like, even like the way he dresses, everything, like he's slick. So I think he's like a sick person to have, just especially because this is like a battle where there's gonna be a lot of general public and stuff. Someone like him, people are gonna be like, who is that?
Yeah. And I think that's also a great thing that you touched on. It won't just be the community here. I want it to have access to everyone. Average Joe that might might not even know that the battle is happening. They might just be walking past.
I mean, the foot traffic is great because it's like right on the main.
There's literally a whole university right next door. They're in Freshers Week.
Oh, it's gonna be
it's
packed.
like
yeah.
It's just gonna be. I'm hoping that it just gets rammed.
I love that. Like I think the energy of like having non-dancers at a dance event is amazing because you almost start to see it through their eyes.
Yeah.
Because I think when it's just us at an event, we're like, you see everyone and you're like, well, especially me, it's like, especially being around for ages, you kind of get in this habit of like, okay, cool, well, that's interesting and I've seen that, but then, oh yeah, he did that well. And I'm like, all this time, I'm not really excited. I'm just analysing and being like, interesting.
Because we come into the analytical brain.
But then when you have like people either side of you like, whoa, he spun on his toe. And I'm like, actually, that is pretty cool that he spun on his toe.
100%. And I think that's something that we take that for granted. Like, what we make our bodies do and what we're able to make our bodies do is nothing short of a miracle. It's I'm so glad that, like, for example, breaking is now an Olympic because it's an Olympic. I don't see it any different from when you watch the 100-meter or Simone Biles banging out on the bars. Yeah. So, like, 100%. I think it's going to be great to watch non-dancers experience our space in its entirety, and they get to try workshops, they get to see performances, they get to be artistic in the space, they get to dance and social. That's another thing, especially when you look at the way battles used to happen. Yeah, it wasn't these events that we're creating like this. It happened in the parties and the jams, and cypher circles just formed, and that's how it just, no one went to a battle event. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it will just be nice to just release and dance and have community. Definitely.
And I think this is the importance of, like, if we can say it like that, like representation in the right places, in the sense that this is going to be, it's a big partner, Dance Umbrella and Somerset House, and there's going to be a lot of people who are not from the scene. So having someone like yourself and all of these captains and the kind of team around it is super important, because it's like, and this is where there's a lot of like people get annoyed and stuff, but it's like when you expose our scene to such a big audience, it should be done right. Yeah. And I think that's why it's important to have someone like yourself in these positions where it's like, okay, there's a big opportunity, and it's not just someone being like, oh, let's make a hip hop battle and then just being like put in any random stuff. You're like, all right, we're going to arrange it to make a show and to make it interesting, which you have to do. You have to do, but you're keeping the right essence in the right places. And it might not, even for partners, they might be like, oh, I don't get it. And you're like, yeah, but that's why I'm here. Like, that's why we need this person and not this person. They're like, yeah, but they're both hip hop dancers. And it's like, no, you don't understand. It has to be that one. Yeah. And it's like, 100%. Those sort of little decisions really contribute to the
authenticity of it as well. Yeah. And I really want this event to be great.
I think it will be.
I really want it to be great. I want it to be something that we have. We lost all of our spaces. If you really think about it, we've lost all of the fact that there's potential funding that can be in this. Yeah. So, I would love as well. I would love for this to happen, it to be a great show, and for dancers to be like, I want a captain next year. Yeah. I want to. How do I enter?
People know that there's that opportunity in it. I
want a captain next year, and it's like a goal that we get to just to strive for.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that it almost should go to a poll. Who do we like an actual democratic election?
Leave a comment.
Who do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If you are a South resident, who would you want to represent your own community?
Would you ever do anything like almost like competition to be a captain or something? Like
like an audition.
Audition or
something.
something.
The scope is
there's so many things you could do with it.
It's so endless.
Sick.
Where it could go.
Yeah.
And I think I've just got to put the foundation on this and get it to pop.
Yeah.
And get it to be what in my brain I feel like it can be.
Yeah.
I've dreamt this thing, you know. I've
Sick.
dreamt this. I've seen it literally, even just down to like the trailer for it that we released the other day, which I'm so glad everybody's sharing it and getting excited by it and talking about it.
I love a good trailer.
It's good. It's a good trailer. And shout out Toby and Max that were on it. We did a really great job in the filming and editing of it. But I guess for me, one of the things that was really important is that Gets' track, London, was... I want that to be like
I see how you put an East London artist though, but
mean,
she says she's not biased.
But the way how he talks
London.
about London,
and
each verse as he talk, and he's an incredible storyteller, incredible But the way how he talks about, like, after I finish listening to that song,
you're like, this has to be the trailer.
I'm gassed about where I live. I'm gassed about this city. I'm gassed about the subculture of UK energy that we've created. I'm just gassed about it all. So, even that, I was like, that is the song. And it took a while to get that cleared. And they were like, maybe we should think about other. I said,
has to be that one.
It's this song. You need that one. So I'm just so... Yeah, I feel proud.
You should.
It's making me feel proud about my city.
Yeah.
About the community that we have. That. Yeah, I do. And anyone that knows me knows that, like, location and where I'm from, my identity is like a massive thing to me.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's like, you know, it's also... maybe a symptom of the scene when we started like not being that huge, so like we knew, so it really was like a smaller niche community. Like even when I came in 2007ish, it was probably bigger than it was like maybe when you guys started. And it's like, it still is like, oh, you know everyone, so when you see someone traveling or do something, you're like, it's UK, it's like, it's my people.
When I come back to KOD because that was the last time I really...
You can stand behind the country somehow.
And I was at home. I just remember being at home. I'd streamed, set it up on my TV, and I was watching that whole thing like a pay-per-view fight. Do you know what I mean? I had all the snacks out and food out, and I was like, come on! I was like yamming on food, like you know what I mean? How you got bros just sitting watching a fight, and you're just shouting at the TV, and that's the energy that I really want. And also, just speaking about London and the UK scene in general, the second round, because there's a few rounds.
Actually, what can you tell us about the format of the battle? Let's talk about that. So the opening of the show, obviously I want it to be the mantra, and we see all of the teams and they come out almost like the profile sheet of the group in a way. So you get to see the group, you get to see. So the first round is a battle, or
it's not really a battle. It's like a introduction to
like showcase round.
Yeah, so in the blue corner, that kind of vibe. And then the East London comes out and they're running out and they're just going off, and you get to see. So then each group comes out and we see all the teams.
Do they throw down or just?
They just, it's like almost like a showcase.
Okay, cool.
30-second showcase, and then you just get to see all of these teams.
So you're introduced. You can already pick your favorites.
And it's just I need it to feel like a WWF vibes, if that makes sense. The epicness of it. Then each team will go against each team.
Okay, cool. So a little
North will
round
go west.
robin
A bit round robin vibes, right?
Cool.
And the team that has the most points by the end of that is the ones that goes through.
Points are just wins.
Wins.
Okay, cool.
Just wins against each person, which we have judges that will help and decide.
Have judges?
What, written down there?
No, have they been released? Are we
they
allowed
haven't been released yet.
Do you want to give are we allowed to give an exclusive?
I feel like I do, but I also want to check and make sure we've
announce?
got. Let's put it in at the end. And then if it's just edit it out.
Let's talk about the judges. And if there's a cut now and then we come in, it means we weren't allowed to talk about the judges. It just cuts. So anyway.
So the judges, we have Clara.
Nice.
Spin.
Ooh.
And Olu.
Sick. That's
and
a
I feel
nice
like
spread.
all three of them in different ways are the right people for the job.
Yeah, definitely.
I think across them they speak true to different proficiencies of styles as well.
Yep.
I think that they're promoters and producers of their own events.
Yeah.
I think they all in some degree understand choreography, which again, it's a team battle, so they understand what it is to run and lead group choreography teams. And I just think in general they just all have been in the scene long enough that I think that they're top-notch people for the job.
Agreed. That's dope.
So yeah, they're great judges. But yes, the team with the least points, the least wins, is out.
Yeah. So then there's 3 left.
Yeah. Then when we get to the second round, the 3 that are left, the captains take over, and it's captains against captains.
Ooh.
And that is the UK round. So all music in that round should be UK music.
Sick.
So it really feels like a London battle there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Dope.
And the captains have to win to get their team through. You know? Like any good leader of any lieutenant, it's the captain at the helm at the front that leads their team into battle, you know?
So out of those, is it like a 3-way battle or it's against? Like
yes,
they all
against.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
again the same thing.
Top two. And then that's the final.
And then the teams come back in between
for the final.
For the final. And there's different rounds there. One of them might be, you know, like a hands behind back, no hands, or
themes, restrictions, that type of thing.
But essentially you need to have one choreo round in there. You can also have solos coming in, duos. It's however you choose
is it
to
like
use the music.
The theme will be announced and then you've got to decide who's the best person,
which
for
is
this.
why I don't want to say
too much, because they can prep. Cool.
I don't want you to prep for that. Sorry.
So right, it will just be like a captain's decision, right? Oh, it's this. You go. Okay,
and
cool.
the captain has to delegate, and we just have to watch how that captain is gonna go
control the team.
Control that team.
That's good.
And they've really got to step up in there and be strategic about their movement.
Sick.
And what steps they take.
I love that. I love when it's like an actual reason for a captain.
Yeah.
You know,
can't just have a captain and then they're there in name alone. But
exactly,
I need to
and they're just one of the dancers. Yeah.
And I think in hindsight they might think about, you know, it's like, oh, should I have done that move? Should I have?
Yeah, you got to think of a whole strategy.
Yeah, it's a strategy, and look at your players that you have. And I mean, I'm sure when you play FIFA and all these things, you do the same thing, innit? Like, exactly.
Yeah. So just to go through the rest of the lineup, because it actually is sick beyond just the battle.
Yeah.
So you've got Ashley J hosting, which will be lovely. You weren't tempted to do it with him? Too much work to do on the day?
No, I mean, you might get a cameo from me. I do love a good mic.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like my eye needs to.
Sure, you need to be free.
I need to be free to look at the bigger picture.
That's fair. But Ashley J's incredible. Got it covered. And then there's workshops, which is sick. Turbo, Tiago,
yes,
Tiago, Olu, and Chloe Dean.
Yes,
lovely set of workshops. I think that would be great.
Yeah, and I also family people that I think can do really great family friendly workshops as well.
Yeah.
So
and like for the public if they want to join in as well.
It needs that. I can see little kids just, you know what I mean? I feel and they're all really great personalities to help create that environment. And I think that was really important.
Actually,
for me.
Those 4 are like personality-wise.
Personality, I think they're really, really good.
And then we've got showcases as well. Treating us, Jade. Gully South Block, one of my favourites. The Queens, is that
Nicola?
Yes,
Nicola Mack.
Yeah. They're actually really entertaining to watch.
Insanely. And essentially the crux of them is shui style.
So it's another style you're kind of bringing into the mix. Yeah.
Which I think should have more platform. And I mean, Dee Dee is an incredible champion for that. So
and then Lauren Scott performing a solo, I think she said.
Yeah. I've been watching her solo work for a little while now, and I think she's so majestic, captivating. I just absolutely love watching her. Yeah. So I was so gassed when she said to this. So,
that'll be. I'm really looking forward to that. And then, of course,
I mean, the Titans, the absolute
no
Titans.
stranger to anything London-based. Boy Blue. Staple of the community.
Yeah, man.
And then DJs Josh Constanzo and Midnight Train Collective, which is going to be fire.
Yeah.
So we have workshops at 1, showcases at 3:30, then battle at 4:30, which is beautiful lineup. Yeah. And then how long are we going for post battle? Is there anything after, or is it when the battle's done? That's done?
No, when the battle finishes, then we just have a party. That's when Midnight Collective.
They start after the battles.
Yeah, and it's just vibes and party and vibes and party. I mean, if you've ever been to Nava and all of their podcast stuff, you'll know that they're really great.
What sort of time are we going until? 4 in the morning.
Thanks,
Somerset House.
that is the goal. But I think we're going to about 6:30.
Okay, cool.
As well, because everyone's got work and stuff the next day.
Sure.
But that's the idea, that we can get it to like even a longer
like
thing.
A proper party.
Yeah, and to start the day, we actually have we've just brought on some graph artists that are going to come in and very much, I guess, how it was at the bridge. Or breaking convention, you
like live graffiti, right?
And I think what's really lovely is that they're going to create murals north, south, east, west, and then everybody else can come on and colour that in and change it up,
that's cool.
And then that will help. So it's almost like the community have created the backdrop for the battle.
Nice.
So then those murals will then go and almost open up the space.
Sick. That's
so
really
the community have painted the walls of.
Sick. And so just to go a step back actually before we kind of wrap up, but you did something, I've heard something about this battle before. You did like a digital online something. What was that? So because I don't know if I watched that. I don't know if I've seen it. Is it out?
It is. It was out. Yeah. The seed of the idea. This was obviously when we were in that whole lockdown pandemic.
We might have even spoken about it then. I can't remember.
Briefly. And I kind of was like, I've really got this idea. And I just feel like, I mean, you know me, I'm a doer. So I was just like, let me just see what it does. And then Dance Umbrella had come to me anyway about curating work. And that could have been my stuff, like my actual choreographic, theatrical stuff. But I said, actually, I really don't want to do that. I've really got this itching idea that I think I'd love to trial out and test and see. And that, I guess that was for me, like how I could test out the format and whether it actually works.
And was it more of like because it was lockdown, you said, was it more of like a dance film or like an event?
No, maybe a little bit of both.
Oh, okay, interesting.
We got into a space. I forgot where it is now off the top of my head. But we got into a space. At that time, I had picked all the teams. So it wasn't just the captain thing. I just picked everybody because I was just like, I'm just trialing out this idea.
Yeah, sure. Let me curate
it and see how it goes. We filmed it as a I guess, documentary style.
Interesting
thing. So it wasn't streamed live or anything like how most battle, like
digital
battle. Yeah. And then what it was we were looking at, okay, so how can we make it interactive if we have a voting system, and then the audience, people that can come in and between when it airs and when we release who the winners are, there'll be a length of time that we can work it. And that's how it started at first. And I think as soon as we got there, we knew, okay, this is going to work. Immediately, it's going to work. But it was like
it's almost like R&D.
It was. It was
100%.
Yeah, it was an R&D for sure. And then we tried it out, but it was definitely like one thing that was overwhelmingly obvious is that this needs to be live. This isn't a digital thing. This has to be. It's grander than this room that we've got. And it was great. I think the performers had fun, but they also, I saw the glimpse of the healthy competition thing that I've been saying.
They
that I
started
missed.
to get into it.
They started to get into it after
yeah.
a while, like shut up, man, shut up, all of that, and I'm like, I'm here for
But
this.
that's what you get, you know, when you give them something to represent beyond just them.
Just them, and I think there is some patriotism, is that the word?
Yeah.
About your area,
Yeah.
I guess, and just without it being toxic. Do you know what I mean?
Which is the perfect balance.
Yeah, I think it's just it felt nice. It felt like, okay, let me see if we can do it. And after we'd finished it, myself and Dance Umbrella spoke, and we were like, look, we have to see this through to the end and at least get it up on its feet. But now we're here, and I'm like, is this the end?
Yeah. Is this the start?
Is this the start?
Yeah.
So I'm praying that, as I said, I really, really love that everybody is taking it on. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and get everybody down there. Let's make this as big a success as we can.
For sure. And we're going to be there. The capsule will be there. We'll be filming. We'll be putting some content up. So if you can't make it down for the beginning, for example, we might have some stuff going up, some stories and stuff, so you can kind of keep an eye on the day, and what's going on. Also on Dance Umbrella's socials, they'll have like updates of the day and stuff, so people can kind of keep an eye. But the capsule will be there, and I'm excited to be there and to cover it. I mean, this is what I love about kind of working in the scene, where it's like I can actually do my filming work, and I can actually, I would have wanted to come to both anyway,
regardless.
So now I'm like, well, if I can work at it, then even better. Kill two birds with one stone. So I'm super excited to be there. It's going to be great, I think. And just last bit, so do you know much about the wider festival that this is a part of that you could tell us?
Not as much. You know, when you're doing something, you're just so into it. But I know that there's loads of performances happening over the course of the month.
Right.
And anything Dance Umbrella puts on is going to be epic anyway. So
is it that you can go on Dance Umbrella's Instagram? Where would be the best place to get the full program? The website, Dance Umbrella's website. Cool. So guys, check out Dance Umbrella's website, which I'm assuming you can find through the Instagram. Cool. Which is a bit where everyone finds websites now.
It is now,
Instagram.
isn't it?
I'm like, what's their website?
You don't even type it in. You just go to the thing and then click the link, and then that's it. You've got so lazy.
But if you're interested, if you're in London, or you've got people visiting London, or family and friends who aren't from here or something, you just want a nice day out. Definitely check out Dance Umbrella's website for all the other kind of cultural events that are happening. They're not all hip hop and street dance, but there's just a wide range of different things. So
the London Battle is free.
London Battle is free, guys.
Free, and it's the best price.
What's the closest tube station to here?
I would say maybe Holborn. Holborn's not bad. Is there Strand? No.
Embankment, Temple.
Let's start that again.
Yeah, I walked from Charing Cross. So Charing Cross, Temple, Strand. It's super central, super good location. So, pop down for sure. It'll be happening all day.
Yeah.
Workshop start at 1.
Yes.
But is it open before that?
It is for all the graph stuff, and you just have space being, atmospheric, and come and get your seat quick so you can perch yourself. Also, the one other thing that I'd love to talk about is that we're using it hopefully for a fundraiser for the Maryland Studios.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah, I really feel passionate about that space. I feel like it's been the home of London dance, even though it is situated in East. Anyone has trained in that space at some point in their life. And it was detrimentally sad for me when it went. Yeah. So for the heroes that are taking on the project to bring it back into the space, I really think that we need to turn up for them. We really need to turn up for them.
How can we? Is it because it's free tickets? So
it'll be free tickets, but Maryland and some of their representatives will be there,
so we can kind of donate
there. Cool. They'll have their own stand there.
Amazing.
We're looking at raffles that are there. I'm offering something actually on the raffle. So if there is anybody else as well that is out there that would love to donate a prize,
maybe we can give something like filming or something.
That would be great.
I'll hit you up after, but we'll donate something for sure.
So we just want and hopefully, especially for the non-dancers that are coming to the space, they see the dance, they see the energy that is in the space, and we're asked when we're saying, you know, this is one of the homes of these spaces.
Like these things come from these spaces,
and we're trying to get it back up. You know, people feel more encouraged to want to donate to that space after experiencing it for themselves.
Definitely.
So definitely, please, if you have anything that you can donate and spare, that's definitely going to be the main home to be able to to donate
and enter the raffle as well.
100%.
I'm going to try and win all the prizes.
I'm not gonna lie, me too.
That sounds sick, and yeah, I'm super looking forward to it. Saturday, the 7th of October.
Correct.
This will probably come out this coming week for us. This coming week, but for you guys, it's coming out now. But yeah, this Saturday, 7th of October.
Yeah.
All the information is on the Dance Umbrella's Instagram so far.
Yeah.
We are gonna be there, so you can keep an eye on the capsule and obviously this podcast. You can learn about what it was. Yeah. I don't know what other information there is for people. Definitely come down, guys. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just enjoyment as well.
It's going to be a fun day out.
I think so. It's going to be.
And it seems like everyone's talking about it. Like I'm involved in this kind of process of it, so I'm not too unbiased. But I keep saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to record this pod with Jade, or I'm going to go do this," and then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's at London." Everyone's talking. Like people keep mentioning it, so I think there is a buzz going around about it.
I hope so, and I hope eventually it, you know, abbreviates down to I'm just going LB. I can hear, you know what I mean? I can hear it.
Yeah,
where you going? Sure. You going LB? Yeah, I'm going LB. I'll see you. You going LB? I'll see you LB, yeah? That's what I want. I hear it. You know what I mean? I want it to be part of our culture and something that happens annually. So
sick.
But this is the first one, and get down. You can say you was at the first ever LB, you know?
And guys, I can't stress enough that like when we talk about like support and stuff like that, I don't think we should kind of use that word as a way to like guilt people to come to our events. However, I do think when people are, and you can keep an eye out for it, but like when people are working with partners, and this is, I'm coming from experience because I have done and I'm doing this, like the partners often need to see evidence that things work. So you may be like, oh yeah, I don't know, I'll see how I feel, whatever. But just if we want more opportunities to come in and we want more, you know, money even or anything to come into the scene, because people are getting hired from stuff like this, right? So there's money being input into our scene and opportunities to like fund the Maryland thing. There's loads of different things that we can get from battles like this. Even if you're like, it wasn't my thing or whatever, just coming, showing that like, oh, there's people at these events,
there's a need,
exactly, and there's a need and people enjoy it, and like you kind of bringing that like authentic side, you know, if you were an actual dancer and you come down and you're like ciphering and stuff, it's like we can make it our own. And I think that goes such a long way to like showing to these wider partners, oh, this is what our scene is, and giving them, you know, a good proper, because otherwise what happens is you just get the general public here, which then doesn't give, like the showcases are seen, but it doesn't give a representation of how we are as a culture.
As a culture.
So if you show up and represent how we are, it helps us to have more reference points in order to get bigger stuff. Because even like, say me, like if I'm doing a completely separate project, I might send videos of this battle to a partner and be like, well, Jade did this, so maybe if we do something like this, it could work.
It can work.
Because that works.
Because it worked.
So it's like you never know how many other things can come from something like this.
And one of the main things that I'd love for it to do in a beautiful 10-year dream is it goes regional.
Bro.
So London versus Manchester versus Nottingham versus
like
Leeds.
cities,
cities going there. Do you get what I mean?
Ooh, I would be so passionately.
And who would be a captain for like Manny?
Yeah,
who would, you know what I mean?
And I think that's like what encourages the scenes to build there when they can represent. They don't have to just come and like integrate into the London scene. That's what I love about, you know, some of the people that have stayed where they are, like Dime Stop in Scotland or like LB and those guys in Manchester. It's like they've represented their city and they stay there and they build the scene there. So giving them an opportunity to battle.
Imagine literally England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland.
Yeah, the UK battle.
Ooh, you see what I'm saying?
Sick.
You see the 10-year thing there?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bruv. We got to, this is number one. We got to turn up for our city, for our ends, and then we can take it wherever we need to. And then eventually you're going to start going England versus
the Europe
Netherlands
battle.
Nether versus
That would be sick.
Germany
The
versus
World Cup.
You see what I'm saying?
That would be sick.
There's
That would
so
be
much
sick.
scope that it can come from this.
Yeah.
We just gotta get the first one right. So
Hell yeah.
let's do it.
Well, wishing you such luck on
Thank
that
you,
journey.
man.
I'm hoping I can listen back to this pod in 10 years and be like, oh, like
Imagine,
that's what I love
yeah.
about these as well, is like, as much as it's like, you know, promotional and good chats, it's also like, I can't wait for 10 years to look back on these pods or like,
and
kind of see where we
You're
were at the
immortalizing
beginning.
things.
We do one
bro.
for the 10-year anniversary and like, we're
Imagine.
like, we can look back. But yeah, wishing you massive luck. We're going to be there. Hope you guys come down. Thank you, obviously, to you for being here and for putting this on. And thank you to Somerset House and Dance Umbrella and the Content is Queen podcast space. I love this space. This is beautiful.
My new home.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is my dream one day, to have my own, the Capsule podcast space.
Speak it.
That's in 10 years when we talk about the anniversary.
It.
That's what we're going to, the Capsule podcast space.
Yeah,
will be.
man.
But yeah, we've got lots of hard work to do until then.
We'll do it. We'll get there.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Catch you guys next week or catch you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Peace, guys.